everyone. Hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hello, I already got my tools in hand. This is your Lionsgate reading. The extended will be included is what I was thinking, and of course backed up by spirit. If you're here, it probably means you're looking to be encouraged, elevated, and empowered on your personal and spiritual growth journey. This is what this channel is about. If you're new, welcome. Stay to explore, stay to hear if you'd like. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for, coming back, for being here. I really appreciate you. And all the people here are incredible. They're amazing. And yeah, let's do this. Let's hop in. What I was getting for today is a bit of a more mellow type of a vibe compared to what has been going on these past days, particularly leading up to the 8/8 portal of the Lionsgate. So this has started in July, end of July already, and will also continue past the 8/8 portal. But those energies are really intense, especially with other planetary constellations. I'm not an astrologer. This is not an astrological channel. So check out Molly McCord for more info, for example, or what's her name? The British astrologer. She's amazing too. She's a bit of a, she has more years on her. What is her name again? Oh my God, I forgot. Anyways, let's hop in to find out what is important for us to know about the Lionsgate, how do we best work with the energies of the Lionsgate, and what is yet to come. All, of course, in terms of advice from Spirit. Everything that we can pull, we appreciate. So let's go. This one, yeah. This one, no. Any of these? No. No, 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 no. Yes, interesting. I almost discarded it. And I feel we're getting a bit of a wheel situation here. Yeah. It just started to show itself like gradually. So I feel something is in the making. I feel like I'm seeing the astrological wheel here with all the zodiac signs that we're working ourselves through here, from the starting point of Aries all the way to the finishing point of Pisces and the integration of everything. And then again, much like the hero's journey that starts with the Fool and is ending with the hero, with feeling that empowerment, with that really good feeling of, wow, I came so far. So some of you may have been doing some reflecting on how far you have come. If you have not done this, I highly recommend to currently tap yourself into this. You can also use this Lionsgate as a starting point and go back a year. What did your life look like a year back from then? And I bet to some of you this is dramatically different. Like a lot of changes have happened within that year. And then it should be interesting to do the same thing again next year at this checking in point. I'm also reminded of the Rauhnächte, which happen in December and go to into January. There's a series over on Patreon that I created for you guys last year, and I will be creating another one this year, of course. So it's available for the $2 tier over on Patreon. I'll link it down below. They just bring it up, so I'm gonna be here and bring it to you. There's also the meditation channel, Universal Power Meditations, that I will be linking down below as well, because they keep highlighting it. Now this is interesting because this is also for you. In case you have been working on projects, there seems to be something that is coming together for you. And this is so funny. If we're working the spiritual path and walking it, then we'll have different points where different projects that we're starting and maybe finishing may not have the desired result that we wish for. But that is only because it is not happening on our timeline, it is happening on divine timelines. So for example, and this is why I think they brought it up, is I think I've had the meditation channel for, I don't know, 3 years now already, and it was never meant to be anything. It was just the meditations that were brought through in channeling that served me well also. There were also some that spontaneously came in that I immediately published for you guys. So you can follow a certain type of journey here, but it was never meant to be anything. It's just something that Spirit you know, I did in co-creation with spirit, so I felt called to, I felt pulled in that direction. You may have something like this as well, but trust also that this will be very beneficial for you. So there's an amount of rewards that is coming back to you for work well done, if you will. Although I find that to be a kind of a strange expression, because whether we do it or not, we're equally loved, we're equally doing a good job, if you will, right? So there's no judgment in this whatsoever. And it seems to me like I will be talking a lot about these types of things. So you might as well grab your cup of tea or coffee, like I surely have mine here. Cheers. So that's important. Like for those of you that are just getting into projects, just do them for the fun of it, because it's awesome to really get into that creative space with spirit. And we haven't even gotten into those cards yet. It's just like everything, as soon as these two came up, it was just like bop, 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 bop. So one thing quickly leads to another, with the quickly please in parentheses, because divine timeline, not human timeline, not necessarily your timeline or how you want things to come through. There's also the mention of how it can seem a bit unfair in terms of if you're looking left and right. You may have been doing your work for the past 20 years and things haven't shown up for you yet. Believe they will, trust they will. And you look left or right, and the person that has had, let's say, their business for 2 years, they're already super successful in terms of, you know, finances and stuff. But there's something that makes you the wise one here, and hence stay with yourself, because you have the Wheel of Fortune and you do have the Queen of Pentacles. So highly abundant, highly fruitful, I want to say here, with seeds that were planted years ago. And this Lionsgate portal is important as a term to enforce those projects. Some of you really have felt the pull to just go, 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 go. I just said to myself yesterday, because the Oracle deck that I'm currently creating and have been creating since 2 years is going to be finished within the next months, I want to say, because the artwork I finished now. And it's so funny because I felt like a mad woman, like working through nights, because I was just like so engulfed in everything. And I was like, you got to be a little bit nuts, you know, to walk this path too, and to, because these projects, and in my experience, and in yours maybe too, my dear listeners and viewers, it may just be the same for you. Like when you're on this path, things are not happening for quite some time, and then all of a sudden it's like go, 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 and we're just like bum, 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 one thing after the next. And it feels good too. We don't feel like, oh, we want to stop now, we want to keep going. But then there comes another point where it's just like, okay, that energy is over, that wave is over. It has been ridden. If you caught that wave, if you were willing and wanted to involve yourself in this. And then comes the point where you're at the beach. And it's just like at the shore. And you're just like, cool, what are we going to do now? Like getting back out there, maybe there's another wave, but maybe it's also time for a break and for just laying in the sun and enjoying life. Because where we're going into is much more a time of where we're honoring, you know, those high peaks, and then honoring those valleys too, where we're just, you know, relaxing instead of what is presented to us. If you work hard, if you just go at it, you know, work hard, play hard kind of a thing, culture, then we're going to grind ourselves to the ground. And the switch towards what is presented and what we're asked to go into, which is the spiritual path. We're not asked, it's an invitation. It is there for us to grasp if we want to, if we're willing to integrate that within our lives, then there it is, right? And you be the judge of what suits you best, please, okay? Maybe the other grind, you haven't been grinding enough and you need to do more of that, which is completely fine. And I'm now getting my throat chakra. Self-expression, boundary setting, saying, no, I would rather be with my kids. I do not want to work through this weekend. I would do this and that, and to set boundaries here too. I was just getting that inclination here. And then again, the spiritual path that is way different, I feel, to what is presented over here, and is a different alternative of doing things. And once you immerse yourself into it and become comfortable with it too, I was just now given Capricorn vibes. That is just also just like, let's go, let's achieve, let's climb the career ladder. But how are we doing this, and at what cost? And again, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's a different approach to things. And you may need to explore this in order to find out and draw your own conclusions for that very path. And then to see, oh, there's something else. It's optional is what they're saying here. They're not saying necessarily one is better than the other. I can definitely advocate for that path, but I also know the benefits of the other path, because that's quite interesting too. But that lifestyle, I find authentic. Well, this is authentic as well. That's what they're saying. There's no, okay, I'll stay out of it. It's just like one or the other. What they're just immediately pulling me back to, saying like, you've experienced this, you've done this, and now you're doing the other thing, and now you see the difference of it. But it was important to see this first, so that you could experience the other and make that transition from point A to point B and see everything in between. Like, that was important also in terms of being able to talk about it, being able to teach it. And again, I'm feeling my throat, and particularly actually that right now, my left jaw, I just felt like almost like a clenching sensation, you know, when you have too much stress, too much tension, and it just reflects in your jaw. That's what I was just getting. Whew. So it may be time, oh yeah, now the right one too, like right near the ear. So a lot of tension. What helps is like a massaging of your jaw. I'm just doing it. I'm just running my fingers down my jaw like this at both sides, and really like try to massage and relax that area right now. Also, magnesium, vitamin B, those things are really playing a huge role for our nervous system, to calm ourselves down. Omega-3, 3, 6, 9, whatever omegas there are, those are really important too. I feel like I need to say this here. And I also feel we need to slow down and take breaks here too. That's really important. With the wheel, number 10, that's a major arcana. I feel this is reflected in this. But this is so interesting, because this is what we were speaking about. You know, the wheel, it has the same color, but it doesn't have the same pattern. So this is, I feel like, the human expression of that, and then the spiritual expression of, abundance, of money in terms, if you will. But money it's so funny how they're differentiating between those two timelines of what money can be, what it is presented to in the majority right now, and what it is when it becomes something that's spiritual. Like how that two sides of the same coin, more or less, and being able to experience and to choose, which is part of that human experience that we're all living, the dark and the light side of things, and to see both. That seems to be really important, to be involved in both, so we can understand, so we have people that know both sides of the coin. That's really important, because then you can understand the world. It's much like when you're stepping into a management position, let's say in hospitality, and you've never washed dishes before, like in a restaurant setting, you've never set tables before, you've never done this and that. How would you know how to lead people like into the scenario, versus when you did the dishes, when you served the tables, when you worked in the kitchen yourself? It's a much different understanding of what this job requires, and you'll be a way different manager of your employees here, way different. So that's kind of like what they're saying in terms of understanding the energy work of things, and the sorry and the the different sides of things, and that everything's okay. Like, this is very spiritual too, right? Because we sometimes think, or may think, like, this isn't spiritual work, and my ears are hurting. Like, my right ear right now is still hurting, is sore somewhat. So there's definitely someone out there that has a bit of ear pain here too. you know, that speaks also to not wanting to hear anything anymore, like being fed up with stuff, right? Too much tension and all that. So coming back to this is very like a spiritual experience, the whole thing. And we may not feel spiritual in those earthly things at all, but indeed they are. They're part of our learning path, of that learning curve. Here we go. And here's the integration. Like if you can't tell, I'm doing like the infinity symbol. That's what's coming through right now. It's quite beautiful too. And I'm also getting the sense of past life regression, like past life coming back to be integrated also. Looking at it and then integrating it. Looking at it, integrating it. That sort of a thing. Interesting. And why I was laughing so hard is because I all of a sudden became super self-aware that of course you're going to be listening to me right now. But in this moment of recording, you're not there per se. Of course you are, like energetically, because I'm tapping myself into your energies, and I hope that's fine. I never thought about that actually, because that's like one of my major things. I will not tap myself into other people's energies unless I have their permission. So it's interesting that you don't really give permission for the general readings when you read for the general public. That's interesting. I never thought about it. But what I was thinking about earlier and why I was laughing was just because at this time I'm recording it and you're not actually there, although you are there. That's so funny. And then you're seeing it and I'm just like, I'm talking to the window, the wall right now. But actually I'm not, I'm talking to you. But it's so funny how that can be, that shift in time is occurring, and yet time is so fluid that those things really actually work. That it's so funny. They're now saying that, and I know this is kind of out there, and I realize I'm jumping like around here, but it's happening at the same time. Interesting. All right. I feel like there's lots going on. We're not driving like a straight line, and this is also how I perceive these energies of lionsgate. It's like a lot of things, like all of a sudden it's like bum, 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 all over the place, and you're just like, oh my God, like let me take a breather here. let me suss this out first before going any further, like in any direction. It also, again, is the opportunity to get things done so fast. Like it's unbelievable how fast things are rolling. But, you know, be mindful of those energies. And with the wheel here too, that's the light and the shadow side too, you know, knowing it, living it, shadow and light, and then a balancing act of sorts, and you're managing to stay balanced, to stay on top here. Definitely. But you make it look so easy, but it takes some skill to be able to do this, right? So you may have your methods at hand here too, and your tools as well, that guide you through everything that's happening, because you're definitely not just picking up on your own energies right now or ever, you're also picking up on the collective energies. And that goes more and more. The more finely tuned we become, the more this is affecting us actually. The more we need to find tools and techniques to really work with this and to discern what is mine and what is not. And then work to keep your energy field clean and clear, so you can be of influence, so you can be of service in this world. In the world, but not of it. In the world, but not of it. That's the point here. That's also funny with the Queen of Pentacles, because she fully understands. She's definitely not ruled by money or by anything material or physical, because that's somewhere on our journey is not dropping away, because we're still human beings, we're still here, but it becomes less and less important. It becomes a tool again. It becomes a tool, not, and something that will be there, that is readily available, like when you need it. Or you may even become so abundant that you no longer think about it in such a way, and that you are able to teach others. Some of you are actually preparing like a workshop in terms of abundance, of how to become abundant, how to manifest things quicker, how the whole process works. And I'm now also getting like a debunking of sorts that you may have experienced in your own life, or that you want to or will teach to people in terms of, you know, get that quick buck, get that quick manifestation now, versus, okay, but I've taken the long road. Like I didn't take any shortcuts here. Spirit didn't grant me those. So there you are, really knowledgeable. So again, we're coming back to the path is important. The journey is important that led you there, because you can now talk about what it is like if you're not granted immediate satisfaction, but if it's like much like a Saturn return kind of a thing, where you had to wait a longer time for things to come to fruition, and then you're just like, there it is. But you know what? I didn't only gain the money, I gained something that's way more important. I gained all the wisdom and the knowledge and the tools and the techniques and the teaching abilities and all that along with it. And do you think you can, make that way in money? I don't think so. Those types of skills are well worthwhile and are so much more than if someone just gives you a quick buck. That is way different, and your growth will be exponentially higher, I want to say here with this, with having walked this path. Let this also be encouragement for those of you that are still waiting on this to happen. Think about that, like the exponential growth that you're undergoing during this process. Like, trust you will be abundant if you're not yet. Although I feel like a lot of you already are, and a lot of you already have that we just talked about. It's really beautiful, really quite something. Any of these? No. Let's put them back then. This one? No. Okay, what else, please, for Lionsgate and for everyone watching here, please? What else, please, Spirit? Where is it that you're going? Oh my God, there's a whole lot. I feel there's options. This one, no. Yeah, but I feel there's options, definitely. No, no, no. Yes, no, no, yes. Mastery, yep. Actually, we're going to shift now a little bit. As you can see, we're still staying within that circle type of situation. There's two that we don't see yet. Curious to see what they are. Again, we have a symbol here, sacred geometry is popping up again, turning one thing into another, and then that other thing yet into another. So definitely huge transformative energies here. And that goes exponentially again, because if we're talking about, and in the moment that I saw it, I saw 2211. So wow, and you may be seeing like lots of synchronicities during this time as well. Lots of 1111, 22, 22, 444, etc. You know what I'm talking about. You may also see a lot of butterflies, feathers, that sort of a thing. Or you may have specifically asked for a sign to come in, and it came. Or if you need specific confirmation for you right now, just ask and you shall receive. Let's see. Oh my God, 3 of Cups, yep. And the other card is the Chariot, so mastery. Quite beautiful. That means soul tribes coming in too. Exactly. That's the beauty of it, because you may have started out your journey wanting something entirely different, then realizing that's not where it's at, especially, if you had a well-paid job before and gave that up for the spiritual path because it was calling you, right? And then, well, you realize, like, once you had the money, that doesn't make you happy, because you could always have more, and your ego will want more of it, versus, the internal peace that comes with that certain wisdom and knowledge that we earlier talked about a more outdrawn kind of a journey that you only get with the years. There's no way you're being born and you have all that wisdom at hand. It will come back to you because you've lived so many lifetimes here. However, it doesn't come by easy. That's why you're here to learn, right? Again and again, and to expand, and so that spirit can have multiple experiences of everything, because we all hold a part of spirit within. So it's like they're experiencing through you as well what this world is like. There's more and more. This is too exponentially, because we're all growing, and so is spirit. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so Three of Cups is soul bonds, soul connections here. Also to the stars. There's definitely soul sisters, soul brothers that are indicated on your journey here. And again, these types of bonds cannot be bought with money or cannot be weighed up in gold. Same thing. Like, you'll feel so grateful once you meet these people. You may have already met them, but I feel we're going towards the future here. So there's more to come of this. More of the Three of Cups, more of those intense connections that really serve purpose too. It doesn't mean that you will forever stay together in the same location. It just means you're meeting these people, you're bringing light together. Light meets light, and it's just like poof, this explosion of light that is happening, this recognition that is happening here. It's like, oh, it's you again. Awesome. Hello. Wonderful to see you. This is amazing. Really, really cool. To some of you, this is happening by a lake or by a body of water is what I'm feeling here. Or water is like a common denominator. Maybe you really, really connect like with water, those that are meeting here. And of course, water is an enhancer of energies. And I'm also getting the image now of native people, drumming by the water, playing flute by the water, singing to the water, in terms that this is amplified and then sent out onto the world, because we're made out of, I don't know how much it is, say somewhere between 70 and 90% of water. So this has a huge effect in terms of the crystalline structure and how it changes when you put energy on top of it. Some of you have been doing this, working with bodies of water, and hence like really changing part of the energetic grid here. Interesting. I think you have a bigger impact here than you know, because of the rippling effect too. Now they're giving me the water too, when one droplet comes in and then it goes boop, 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 boop. Exponential too, right? It's just one drop. And it has such a huge effect, like bigger than it could ever know before. And as it hits the water, it's unaware of the rippling effects that this has. And when we're thinking about one action of kindness, like how much that can ripple out, how much people you're affecting others, and then those are affecting others again. That's really important. And to learn how to manage your emotions in a way that it is more kind towards yourself, first of all, that's the most important thing, and then towards others as well. Yes, we can be angry. That does not mean that. I really want to stress that, because it's not just positive vibes and just love and light. That's not what it is. There's shadow too, and we need to, in my opinion, acknowledge the shadow, work with the shadow, transmute it, integrate it, that sort of a thing. Same with the ego. It's not like, I know people talk about ego death and that something needs to fall away, but in my opinion, it needs to transmute it into something else. It needs to be acknowledged, not pushed away, because it is part of us. And the more you isolate it, the more you push it away, the more it will run amok over there. And it won't talk to you, and won't be easily controlled or like loved when you isolate it. But when you pull it back and have a conversation, yes, it pops up here and there, and it's just like, yes, I want, but it will become less and less, because the more love this ego feels, the less it will require of anything else, because it's no longer necessary. So that's also interesting, because anything material can be replaced with that said love, because most of the things that we want, we actually, and we're coming back to the beginning of the journey, we actually don't want. We actually don't need, I need to say, we need love. So when there's a hole that needs to be fixed, you can't put stuff on top of it. You actually need to fix it, and then you have an actual container that you can then fill up with, the holy water, with unconditional love and light. That's how this works, not with stuff. It doesn't work like that. And that's the journey. But there's also that learning curve to find that out for yourself. You can hear 1,000 people talk about this, but when you haven't experienced it yourself, what this feels like, And when you no longer want or need things like that, like a necessity, I need that now or else I'm not happy or else I'm not fulfilled. I need that relationship, I need that house, I need that car. All those things, and those are nice. I'm not saying they're not nice. We're human beings. Like, this is a material world. It is literally, this is material. This crystal is somewhat solid, I want to say, because all the atoms, obviously they're moving and stuff. But what I'm meaning to say is it can be replaced by something that is well worthwhile and will make you so much happier, so much more fulfilled than what you in the beginning of the journey thought you wanted and needed. And that's it. And that's when the Chariot comes in so super in the future position here, the mastery and the fast movement. And yet again, we have integration of shadow and light, and exactly bringing your football team, as I like to say, bring that together, right? Or your basketball team, bring that together to really make them play well together. Because a team well managed, again, the manager, we're coming back to the manager position from the beginning, a team well managed is so amazing. Like, when you see a team thrive and they want to be there, they want to work, they want to, win together, they care about each other. That's what you want internally. And it's an incredible feeling, like, when you get that together. And no matter how you grew up and with how much trauma, I want to say, part of it can definitely be achieved. I hope I'm not offending anyone, because obviously I do not know your personal life. But even when you experience trauma, which I believe all of us do at some stage, form, degree, whatever it is, you can still achieve this. You can still achieve it. And you can still feel some sense of that peace, some sense of that fulfillment internally, because it isn't on the external. It really is on the internal mostly. There's still elements of it on the external, because if you've ever had to move a lot or were on the go a lot, then you realize it does matter where you actually are, like how you feel, what kind of an impact that has, and depending on that, you would have to do more work in order to get to that place, but it is always possible. All right, sweet peas. So for those of you that are still here, I'm going to pull an oracle card, so to close out that beautiful session here that we had today. Let me see. No, yes, no. Okay, so Earth Warriors Oracle wants to come through by the beautiful Elena Fairchild. I love her, and I love her decks. She's incredible, really, really incredible. Let's see. Alrighty. What do we have for the Lionsgate? And to support those that are here, that are watching, please. What do we need? This one, yeah, definitely. Ooh, Pachakamak. Nourishment of the soul. How fitting for all of the, no, this stays here. Yeah, for all of this, because it's really, let me read that to you. It's got a 32, and it's, nourishment of the soul rather than of the other things that we think are good for us and are nourishing us. But again, on that spiritual path, it rather quickly becomes obvious that we can't nurture ourselves the way we thought we did in the past, or what we thought was good for us in the past. It'll change dramatically. It's that learning curve, definitely. So, 32. For some of you, the Psalm 23 might be interesting. For those of you that are going through Dark Night of the Soul, I highly recommend it. Psalm 23, as I walk through the Valley of Shadows, it's that one, and it's like high encouragement, because Spirit is with you. Thy staff shall be with me, something like that. I have a hard time reciting stuff like that, but I think you know what I mean. Psalm 23, you can look it up if there may be like a passage that resonates with you. Nourishment of the soul. My dear friends, you are granted the gifts of fertility, creativity, and earthly abundance. Yes, to support all needs for nourishing body, mind, and soul, and to live your life fully and be capable of manifesting your divine purpose. So cool, because it's like, it's sums it up, I feel. Give yourself permission to be nourished. This includes your body, also providing your heart, your mind, your soul with what they need and are hungry for, meaning sweetness, divine love, and permission to be authentic. When you feed yourself that which truly nourishes you, wisely and generously, you shall become one who can also feed the world that for which it truly hungers. Exactly. I feel this is summing up this so much. Anything else with this? No. No? No. Here. Yes. So there's another passage that I would like to read to you because I just received a yes. So finding what works for you can only happen as you begin to listen to your body, to your mind, and to your soul, listening as if your spirit were a caring and wise parent. We have the soccer team, the football team here again, or basketball team, whatever applies to you, however you see your inner personalities. Studies have shown that cows will naturally gravitate to the healthiest and most nutritionally rich grasses. Nature knows how to nourish and heal itself. Our bodies can guide us towards what they need for healing, as can our soul. As we recondition ourselves to listen rather than demand, we tap into the healing guidance of the divine feminine dwelling within us. What you derive pleasure from consuming at a physical, emotional, and psychological level will shift as your relationship to yourself changes. This is so true. Rather than it being an act of will, exactly, to be healthy as you move towards what brings you authentic fulfillment, it will begin to feel like an act of pleasure. Exactly. For those of you that aren't quite there yet, let me tell you, it does work. It really works when it starts to be like, to feel like you want to be doing it because you're so worth it. You love yourself so much that you actually want to change certain habits to something else because you know they're so much better for you. You already know. It's just like a matter of really tapping into your personalities and see who is making the ruckus here and who is telling you, no, we're still treating ourselves like SHIT. Right? And then go there and say, hey, why is that? Like, why do you demand that? Like, where does this come from? Go to the root of things. Make that conversation with that part of yourself. And then integrate them, listen to them. What's their reasoning behind it? Because there always is. You'll receive like a sentence or, a feeling to it, or you may see colors with it. Work with that. If you want to with a professional, if you want to with me in the Higher Guidance Coaching Calls, universalpowertarot@gmail.com, if you would like to reach out. Do the Rauhnächte. It's, $2 for I think 12 Rauhnächte to go through 12 rituals to, be worth it, or find something else that works for you. Do it yourself. Whatever it is that, tickles your fancy, go for it. Like, be worth it. So then you will be turning nourishment into a sacred act of honoring the gifts of your body, mind, and soul. Good. There's a healing process that I will be attaching to Patreon, available for the $2 tier. Of course, the $11 tier will receive it as well, obviously, that you can do if you want to in addition to this. And it's good for a month, by the way. When you join Patreon, it's good for a month. You'll find the link down below. One more, yeah, this one. Okay, so one last card for you, my friends, from the Guardian Angel. This one, yeah, Eternity. This one, no. Of course, if it's so beautifully, like to the whole reading, we have Eternity. Gently move your awareness from the external world to a world of light within your heart. Another confirmation. Allow each breath to heal you as you drift to a place beyond time. Eternity exists within you, forever sparkling like a diamond. You are, in essence, a shining star, forever transforming to ever greater light. Oh, precisely. I really felt that. I hope you did as well. My friends, I really hope you did enjoy this reading that has everything included here. Yeah, and I really hope you have a really beautiful Lionsgate 88 portal, and may your wishes come true. May blessings come in for you. I'm sending you so much love, light, and shadow. My heart opens for you, and I love you. We'll see you soon. Be well. Bye.